Gloomy Grim from Finland is one of those bands that has existed for a long time but never gotten too big an audience. The band has been there since like 95, released its first album 1998, and yet still it's kinda among the less known bands. However, the band has still one originator from the band, even though the rest of the guys have been replaced later on. For example, since 2016, there are only like three older members, and the rest is just new stuff. Has it done good or bad this album? You'll find out in a bit. But let's take a look on this album called Obscure Metamorphosis. So, without further ado, let's do a little bit of unboxing. I'm gonna show it to you here. How does it look like? What kind of a vibe it is giving to, and all that stuff. Let's start with the backside of the inlay. Very simple in design, having the Gloomy Grim's double G logo. Then some lyrical content. Looks like a barn door to me. I don't know why there's barn door. Then the CD. And last but not least, the cover image with a kind of a bird bones skeleton of sorts. And then the new lineup. As you can see, 5-man band, of which Mikko Hell, Kim and Agitator are the new members. And curiously enough, Mikko is the one who played all the guitars on this album. So he's responsible for all that stringy stuff here, except for bass. Now this is the lyrical content of the album, also featuring the band members in the kind of shady pictures, again within some kind of a barn. I don't know if this is supposed to be barn themed black metal. No, just kidding. All in all, some 13 minutes and then some of keyboard feeling black metal. And while this used to be more kind of a symphonic black metal, nowadays I wouldn't call this symphonic, but definitely keyboard oriented, keyboard fronted even. But musically this is more of a very sinister and dark type. One could even say that this has some similarities with the Norwegian blank limbonic art, but this is not that chaotic nor fast tempo. This is more controlled and kind of a more band oriented, release in some ways, considering that limbonic part is later on being just only one-man driven band. Now, Gloomy Grim stuff is basically having all those guitar works and keyboards very balanced. It's also more on the mid-tempo side, more of the atmospheric side as well. That is to say, kind of starting to build up this thick atmosphere full of darkness and, just like creatures in shadows. Very ominous in the atmospheric side, and something that on the atmosphere parts is just awesome. I mean, there's kind of a horror kind of a feeling, horror movie maybe, when everything is just, plain dark and you just hear those whispers in the darkness. And these kind of a strong, raspy black metal vocals are really good in this whole context. Now, keyboards play an essential role, and they are done well. The only original member, Agathon, the kind of a mastermind of the band, has done very good work with the keyboards as well as the vocals. But there is no reason why the guitars and drums and bass shouldn't be mentioned, because they are also very vital in this album. And while they are more on the kind of a classic, say, heavy black metal kind of a riffing and such, they are kind of a counterpart versus the keyboards here. And as such, they are the key elements to keep this album more metal, because the keyboards are kind of creating this horror atmosphere, but the gear is making sure that this is still a metal album, like foremost and all that stuff. And so there's quite nice balance. However, sometimes these compositions are a little bit off structure-wise. They are kind of like, where this is going now? Kind of like, it's as if it's missing some of those bridge parts. Like you have a great riff here and you have a nice chorus part here. How do you just jump from one to another? And as such, sometimes these kind of transfer parts are just a little bit odd. Not always, and the overall feeling is that this is quite a nice album, but maybe a little bit more maturing maybe should have been done, because nowadays it's kind of a not disrupting entirely, but confusing this great horror-esque atmosphere, in my opinion. And as such, I have a hard time to liking it all the way through. But overall, this is a nice album with quite decent outcome. And my only real worries about these weird transfer parts, as well as something with the production which is not that good. I mean, it's not bad either, but it's clear that this was not recorded in kind of a pro studio all the way down. It's not badly mixed and mastered as such, but it kind of has this homebrew feeling. To some it might be disturbing, most of you guys no problemo, and I'm included most parts anyway. So Gloomy Grim has done a nice mini CD with a new lineup, and definitely worth checking out even if you're not a fan of the earlier material. This is less gothic in a way, less theatric in a way, and more on the horror-esque style. So go check it out. It's already out, probably somewhere September, October, whatever. So make up your mind and go for it. See you soon, and bye bye.